All right, people, so welcome back again. This is, again, the 4th of February 2022. I'm going to bring up a couple more examples of the neat thing we told you about. I think it's neat that you actually can do. How do I know you've done it? We told you about the funny thing. This isn't paranormal doo-doo. No, this is actually life that you have been so covered over to not realize that you do. And it's very important, big, powerful, and great. Again, the thing about, have you ever heard of, or has it happened to you, where you thought of someone and then boom, they called? And I kid and I say, well, I don't know what you people talked about, but I know one thing. You didn't use bodies to talk. That's how you do it. You think and someone will call. Or you might, as a being, a not physical thing, have your body dial a phone and then talk through your body. Whatever, you do both. The whole thing is, we told you without trying to brag, because the issue isn't what we can do or I can do. No. Someone who's had these life's layers removed to be able to do it knowingly and freely. No, it's about you. You're doing it right now. You don't realize it. Yeah. Thought is boss. What you think will occur. But then sometimes the little voices say, oh, no, I can't. Well, those are layers of light. Get rid of them. You can get rid of them. Yeah. So this guy, Hubbard, the guy that gifted, he developed this genius technology and gifted it to a nonprofit and for ethical distribution. And ethics were the most difficult part at the start, keeping the whole gang tight and right, like any group, any org, any business, any industry. Yeah, they weren't all completely unlayered, freed up yet at the start, you see. But things have gotten quite good, frankly. Yeah, they really are. So there you go. And anyway, one of the things we're going to bring up here, I notice in the news, just to show you how this is so great, this pivot. If somebody's not doing something right, or a person who typically does, but suddenly they're off doing something wrong, or maybe they chronically do wrong things, whatever that's true. You're right, a wrong is wrong. There's a way you can fix those. You can get them to pivot, the new popular term, pivot, P-I-V-O-T. Wow, it's a good term. Yeah. See, before you have a chance to get to them and have them unpeel life's layers, like you can do, so they don't do these dumb things anymore because of layers of life that they're not aware of, driving them to do it. There's a way that you can get them to pivot, They're up, things are up and running, kind of not so good. This is from Hubbard, a genius noticing of how to get people to pivot better before there's a chance to clean them up, so they don't need that anymore, like you didn't use too long ago, or they didn't use too long ago. Yeah, you're never what you do. Do something good, get credit. Not good, fix it best you can. But are you what you do, really? If you make, shoes, even a good batch of shoes, are you the shoes? No. It's your pride, your work, but you're not what you do. You're not a thing. A being isn't a thing. You're not things. Things are not you. You're a not thing that can cause things. It's hard to believe. You'll have to see the steps. They're very basic, the unraveling of how beings work. He talks about before the beginning there was a cause, and the entire purpose as a cause was the creation of effect. That's before the beginning there was a cause, and the entire purpose of the cause was the creation of effect. And in the beginning was a decision, and the decision was to be forever. And from beingness, one can have viewpoints, and from viewpoints, dimension points. And that's how space is created and so forth. Walk through the discovery of how you began. Walk through the theory, and then do your own unraveling. Yeah. No, not of the neat, happy, good stuff. No. Unraveling of the junk that isn't good, that causes, as we said, some people that you see in the news, for example, doing that aren't good things. Yet they are not bad people natively, in the beginning. Meaning, all beings are basically good, originally good, still are underneath the same being. How can you be bad before you decided to be? Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to jump forward to how the Florida governor, oh my goodness sakes, what is this? What does it say here? Oh, DeSantis, the Florida governor, he was on your side trying to get you to get back to work so you don't die of the virus of starvation, but, he's not a he's not a virus denier. No, it's like, let's get together. We talked about that, and they're doing it now. The Biden people are coordinating and sort of turning it around and removing the mandates so that you can have your life back, a new normal, right? And some joy, finally, J-O-Y. They talked about that. The DeSantis, or the Biden people, yeah. They'll still want the masks on, okay, for indoors, yeah. But, you know, until that even gets better, you know. So as a way to, what's the word, obfuscate? No, as a way to reduce any growth, should there still be a growth of one of these variants. But DeSantis is something, here's the good news about how you can get someone to pivot. I'm telling you in advance, right now, I'm actually telling you today on the 4th of February, something DeSantis will be doing. It's because you, forget me, I'm all set. You do this anyway, this getting another to do things. Again, you thought of someone and the phone rang, there they are? Yeah. You got them to do a physical thing, grab a phone and call your body, and your body talks to theirs. But bodies weren't involved before. Nah, don't worry about it. It's called truth. Take it easy. It's a big gulp. To get back to this, forget gulps. Go a little bit. Take it easy. Go from effect in life. We're all effect to some degree. Some more, some less, right? Over to slight, gentle cause. Take it easy. You don't have to. I've only done a little bit of this unpeeling of life's layers, and I got to tell you, it's nice to never be the same again. You know, that same crap. You know, yeah. It's a negative gain getting rid of things that aren't you. They're your things. The being is perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. But the doing is, well, sometimes not so good. Might have hurt the marriage, or the guy elected to the presidency might have botched the marriage up a little with us, or the governor. And here's Governor DeSantis. He's trying to cancel that the Homeland Security would care for these little babies that have come into the U.S., little children. And they're calling them trafficked. They're calling the bringing of them in trafficking. Oh, God. Boy, he doesn't want to win elections. No, he's going to change that. Here's why. We had a little treat for him. Kind of a neat guy in a lot of ways, you know. And he's sort of the leading candidate if Trump doesn't run. You know, I don't know if Trump is the leading candidate. I'm not sure of all that. We're not in politics. We're into you-atics. You know, Republican, no you-a-can. Democrat, no you-a-crat. You see, all of you. We're here to help you get back to being you. That's what's up. So here we go. Okay, now, so this bold statement, it just really gets you. My God, how could a guy be so cold and under the guise of claiming they're trafficked children? Oh, please. You know, my God, these Latins come in and work in the U.S. Do you know that they have 1/14 the crime rate? They're grateful to be the crime rate of the white honkies that are nattering about them. Yeah, 1/14 the crime rate of other average American citizens who are normal and have a certain crime rate. Yeah, they work. And I didn't know this. These walls to put up the wall, right? Ready? I didn't know this. I mean, there used to be drugs, walking carriers of drugs across and tunneling and all this stuff. That's all reduced. Do you know why? Check it out. 85% of all drugs, any across the border is not good, right? But these women with little kids aren't carrying drugs. Come on. 85% of all drugs, heroin, cocaine, that kind of stuff, right, are flown in from Puerto Rico to New York and Boston. Airports, a little deal work with the airport workers, some kind of report about that. Check it out. It's true. You're going to put a wall up there. And then, you know, in California, some come through. They're not from, but they come through China. So put a wall up on the West Coast. Yeah. And then on the northern border with Canada, oh my God, really, a moose was spotted coming across the border with saddlebags with some stuff in it. Yeah, capture the thing, shoot him, whatever, put him in a cage, right? So put a wall up there. That's isolationism. No. We're the main trading partner of the cartels. We're their banker. We're the flaky social drug user, a small percent maybe, and then the bulk of them for the handling of the difficulties of life. I understand. Yeah. The people coming across, they're escaping something we created. Some woman pointed out, yeah, the cartels, we created them. Our first invasion, look it up, was in 1954, one of those triangle countries, and then several since invasions, right? Because we didn't agree with a new democratically elected leader of one of the countries because he wasn't tough enough on communism. Well, I'm in for that. I'm a Marine, you know, and a Harvard dropout and all this stuff. Go get him. I don't like commies. No, right? So what did we do? We went in and blew the place up. Sound familiar? Withdrew, thus a vacuum is created, and therefore there's a vacuum, and the cartels were born. Voila, voila, V-O-I-L-A, right? And a lot of invasions since. So the little woman, you know, I'm silly, I told you I'm into, and we're not here to talk about immigration right now, but to make this clear, to remind you, I'm into exercise. She takes a walk, you know, with a couple little kids for 1, 2, or 3,000 miles with no money or food, and might die, many do, right? To escape what? They raped her, killed her husband, and said, hey, scum, we'll be back in 2 days. We're making the rounds, and we're going to grab that little kid of yours, or you're dead too. So she leaves, enters with a legal asylum, and often to join, they're waiting to meet with people, relatives, sponsors, and you cut them off. They have a phone number, who to call, you cut them off. The Trump people did that. This is good. And DeSantis is doing the same thing. He wants to cancel that they have a right to be in these camps. What do they cost you? They work. They'll be working, picking lettuce for 3 cents a year. Why? Because, talk about human trafficking, the people that hire them treat them like dirt because they're not citizens and they have no rights. That's who the traffickers are. I'm here in Florida. I know that. The sugar cane industry, Florida Crystals, Domino Sugar, neat people, yeah. They're Latins, but they own this industry and they have these people. I've been to their charity, the fundraisers to help for the education fund for the little children of these slaves, right? Because the children will become orphans because these slaves are literally worked to death. 18 or more hours a day. They're in hot trailers to sleep, and they halfway die doing that, all that stuff. Please, it's all covered up in lobby, you know. Yeah, please. I've been to their house on the island of Palm Beach, where the fundraisers are. You donate money or bring gifts, and others buy them, and the money goes to it's called the Holiday Bazaar. Wow. Yeah, on Wells Avenue. That's where the house is. They had the 3 little houses in a row. Been there. Then they moved it to the Sailfish Club. Oh, on the north end of the island. Yeah. No, they aren't really bad people underneath. They're good people, but doing something a little dumb. Back to DeSantis. Pretty neat guy. He was against the mandated stuff. Don't run that federal mandate out of we in Florida. Let it be voluntary. He's not against a truth if someone is sick, or if you want to vax, have it be a personal choice. And that's what the Biden people are doing. We told you they're gonna. We wrote it down as a title and description, and it happened. We, me, who cares about we? It's you. You can do this. Think of someone, the phone rings and they call. That was them, right? You know, bodies weren't involved. You talk to them. So here's what DeSantis will be doing. You know, he's trying. Okay? He doesn't need to do that children thing anymore, right? Or this blocking. They proposed 144 bills to Congress, and some of them passed to block the rights for people to vote. Like, it's almost like voting is illegal. They're afraid of the Democrat, blue-collar areas might vote, right? He won't need to. This is DeSantis. I got a thing for him. He'll love it. I'm telling you now, he's going to do this. And Trump talked about it. We talked in the last thing. Trump talked about this as one of the 4 points of his platform. Genius! And the personal income tax. DeSantis will win the presidency. Biden will keep it, or Trump will get it back. If they just do this, you don't need to block voters. Every Democrat, blue-collar worker, white-collar Democrat, they'll vote for DeSantis. He cancels, or Trump will, or Biden now. They're going to. They're going to do this. I'm telling you, I'm declaring. You thought of someone and the phone rang? Don't know what you guys talked about. I know one thing. Didn't use bodies, so DeSantis will now do this. Not because he was a crooked and a corrupt or evil guy. Without this, no, he's doing something that isn't the best thing. He thinks he needs that. Our poor little Harvard lawyer, poor guy. He's a big, tough guy. He's a very skilled, walk on eggshells debater. Yeah, neat guy. Neat guy, if I may say. Goodness sakes, I'm just a country bumping along the country, you know. He's going to now Forget bothering the people coming in. They're not the problem. No, they're not the problem. They work for 3 cents a year. You know, that's human trafficking. The people that hire them and brutalize them because they're not citizens. Yeah, they've earned their keep. By God, they work. Well, you need lettuce, radishes and stuff like that. Sugar, yeah. Even Lindsey Graham, the Republican, said, God, we can't get rid of those. I live in South Carolina. They're the ones that are the farming agricultural industry. If you want salads, green things, healthy food, wow. They're a lot better than that, I'll tell you that. Oh, yeah, 1/14 the crime rate. This lie about how they're criminals and traffickers are going to take over your city. No, we're all from somewhere. What's an African American? I'll get into the Santa thing. What's an African American? What am I, a Norwegian American? Because a great grandfather was from. Everybody here, their family was from somewhere else. We're a bunch that got here to get away from taxes. Mostly like from England. We came in here to get away from their darn taxes. I didn't know they played rough. The British people came here from other countries to start a leadership thing and kind of looked upon as a beacon of freedom for the world, right? I didn't know this. The British were so mad that people left England and came over here. They came over, did you know this? I didn't know this, and burned the White House right after it was built. See pictures of it just billowing with flames coming out. It was built so strongly it didn't go down, but when Truman came in, much later, he had to move out, stay in the Blair House. The president that used to stay, he stayed in the Blair House, until they gutted it and rebuilt internally the whole foundation of the White House. Yeah, it's 3 floors up, isn't it? It's at 2 sub-basements. They lowered parts of bulldozers and reassembled them and bulldozed and cleaned the thing up, and then they took apart the bulldozers and out they came. Yeah, well, they know how to do something. And rebuilt the whole thing. Because when Truman came in, she was getting a little weak and came again. But the walls were good. Yeah, they burned. The British burned. I think others are rough. They burned our White House. Wow. That's nasty. They wanted to tax everything. Tea was a big industry. Now, coffee is the big one, second only to oil as a commodity, but tea was the big thing back then. India, the big tea industry in the U.S. and Boston. You heard of the Boston Tea Party, right? What was that? They came over to tax the tea industry in Boston. These warehouses full of tea. You know what the Boston people said? Cram your taxes. They took warehouses full of big bales of tea and pushed it into the harbor. Made a big cup of tea. The Boston Tea Party, cram your taxes. Here's your damn. Want to tax the tea? Here's your tea. Yeah. They had to fight off the British, the ones that burned the White House shortly after it was built. Pictures of it. My God, I didn't know all this. Obviously, I didn't learn anything in school. I did much book learning, obviously. So the Santas now will do this little thing that you said you've heard of or you've done. You thought of someone and the phone rang, there they were. And I don't know what you guys talked about. No, but we know one thing. You didn't use bodies. You can talk to these people. Well, come in and get your life's layers lifted out. Come in and unpeel life's layers with a Scientologist. That's what it does. It's negative gain. Get rid of things that aren't you. Get rid of it. Check them out. See what they go into one of the centers and have them demonstrate how that little meter works. It's a little thing. You hold a couple of aluminum cans with leads that go into the machine, and it measures electrical current in the body. It's simple. Yeah. So they can ask you a question, and it'll read on the meter before you have a chance to find it. They can guide you to find the thing. All right, go see what it, get a demo. It doesn't miss. Yeah, you can think of a thought, boom, it'll come right up in the demo. Do it. Go find out what it isn't. There's big centers all over the world. 11,000 churches, missions, and groups. And only call it religion, remember, because of the oldest and truest definition, going way back, simply because it addresses you as a spirit. It doesn't introduce any beliefs or cancel any. Now, it's to knowing this thing, the definition of Scientology, Scio, S-C-I-O, means knowing in the fullest sense. Yeah. And ology study of knowing how to know things, not being told or asked to believe. Nothing wrong with being told, nor beliefs. Beliefs are a gradual step toward knowing again. Yeah. DeSantis will. I'm just telling you nicely. Haven't you told me things that'll go? You've said you're going to have a good day in business and sales. Not just dreaming or wishful thinking or hopeful, but some of you have said, I'm going to do it, and you do it. Henry Ford, a little ahead of his time, way back in the early 1900s, said this. He said, whether you say that you can, or you say that you can't, you're right. Wow. He didn't have his Hubbard stuff. I didn't either. Thought is boss. What you think will occur, what you consider. But sometimes when you say, oh, I'm all revved up, I'm fired up, I heard a great talk, or it's some music, I'm all up again, I'm going to do it. And then a voice will say, maybe not. Because prior losses are already re-stimulated. Layers of life that are losses or confusion. Hubbard says, ignore the loss until he gets his counseling done, feel life later. Ignore the losses. Then separately he says, ignore the confusions and focus on the stability. Things that are stable. Interesting. A lot of quotes by this guy. A lot of it's just free online. Look it up. Ask the Scientologists. Go. You got to see their television thing, Scientology Network. The magnitude of this thing. My God. They'll buy an old building. Donation from the members. Some old building, like in Tampa. Ybor City is a part of Tampa. It's old Cuban. And this big old building a few stories high was the largest cigar factory in the world. And they bought this thing. Run down building, bought it cheap, and they fixed it up. 2.5 years of labor with their own people fixing the thing up. They restored it to original, the Scientology Center, but the first floor is actually a museum of all the cigar thing. They go in and support cultures and bring it back to, and they interview people who like it, who appreciate that. That's what they do. Know them by their actions. If something's good, is it bad? My God, So DeSantis, I'm just telling you in advance, not because I'm some hot shot or making big declares. Me, not more than you. True, I've had some of the unpacking. Not much, just a little bit. You have done it. You told me. You've thought of someone, and the phone rings, and there, right? And maybe I'm doing it a little more than you realize, but no, nothing compared to before, or not as knowingly by declare in advance as you used to, but some. You tell me. So I'm not interested in talking about what I can do. God forbid. You can do. No, not can do. You are doing. You have been, and you are doing, and you will, but open it up. Open the thing up, yeah. So, DeSantis, I get so mad, And I forget because I'm stupid. See the movie Dumb and Dumber? I told people they have to make the sequel dumber yet, about me. Someone did make a sequel, I guess they didn't see it. I didn't tell you why. No, I've never done anything wrong. No, goodness sakes. Talking to the professor here, the expert on doing wrong. So thanks to Hubbard, this guy, that did the homework, and I told you, I kid, I joke. What do they call an overnight success? Flash in the pan, oh sure, This homework you did? Yeah, it has a 3 in front of it. 33 or 38 years working his guts out of his pocket for you. He didn't need this stuff. Oh, he had some of his own done, yeah. It's amazing. It's free online now. Yeah, the Scientology stuff. You could get a free Scientology course online. Let's see what we have here, okay? I'm going to show you something, all right? Show and tell time. All right. Let me see this. Scientology courses online, free. Right there, top. See it? Right there. Yeah, they're free. Those courses are from a Scientology handbook, which you can buy. Get it online. You don't have to buy anything. Do it. It's a good idea. If you don't have a book, they'll give you the references from the book as you go through the course. A live person, a course supervisor, we got trained, walking you through the course. You and a buddy can take the class, very standardized, at home, and counsel each other, and it's free. They don't want you to pay them for the stupid stuff by the hour. Why? Do it yourself. Because the counseling gets you out of the mud. The training, to get training, keeps you from going back in. Oh, yes. Like when you learn how to do mechanical work on the job, boy, won't be mistakes after that. You've learned it in school, and then as you go along as a mechanic, you learn a ton of stuff, right? So botch-ups won't be happening in your shop. Oh, man. Your life here is your shop. Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you something. These free courses online, the lower levels, free counseling. Yeah. The middle level, you have to go in and take a class. Well, gee, is that so serious? Pay for a course, yeah. Like you would at a college, just one. And that's a very standardized course. There's something called standard tech. And if it's not, it don't work. They don't fool around. The free one, online, or that one, right? Then you and your buddy can counsel each other on the middle level, free. The upper level, as I said in the last tape, you have to pay for that by the hour, but you'll want to. Well, I didn't say they'll tell you you'll want to. No, I said you'll want to. And it must be affordable. You'll want to do it. You want to do this. Yeah. So free Scientology courses online. See that? Courses on handling the sources of suppression, how to improve conditions in life. Everybody's in some condition or operating state, high, middle, or low. And there are noticed, observed by this guy, observed, he wrote them up here. Look at high, middle, and low. Power. Next down, power change. That's a guy taking over a position that was in power. So power change. Then see, power's up here. Affluence, not bad. Normal, okay. Emergency, ooh, we're sliding. Danger, we're crashing. This is your pilot speaking. Crashed, Cunningham, right? And down to non-existent, too. Then there are what we call the lower conditions. The lowers, ooh, the ethics matter. Liability, doubt, enemy, treason, and then another one discovered, confusion. That's for the people that can't do the condition that they need to do. Yeah. And he said the formula for confusion is just one step. For the formula for handling a condition of confusion is one step. It's in the book, right? Find out where you are. And the drill to help you, if you need help, is compare where you are now to where you used to be. Interesting, yeah. Go look them up here. It's online, free courses online. They're in the book. Do it online. They're a non-profit. They don't tell you if you buy the book or not. You will. You want that book. You want this book right here. Scientology, Introduction to Scientology Ethics. Ethics and survival, we told you, are used interchangeably. An ethical decision is a survival-like decision. Makes sense? A survival-like decision was an ethical decision. No way, yeah. He says in there, I like it, we aren't interested in making good boys and girls. No. Be good, yeah. No, we're interested in getting people to be responsible. What, for their own actions? No, not for their own actions. No, for their own actions and for others until they can get back up. Notice I said back up. Yeah, okay. And he says, many things, but they come to mind and giving you little quips. These are important. He says, you can't become anything. You cannot become anything. No, you already are. Get it back. Get the rest of you back. And by the way, if this is so good, don't let somebody take something from you. I'm the complaint department. Have them get a hold of me. And only because of this guy do I not have those occasional get so mad you like to sock somebody. Not me. No. Because he enabled me to understand. Well, we're just happy with people doing nice things, but how about the people messing up and some really bad? That's not okay. Duh. Huh? No. You're right. Wrongs are wrong. You're right. But before we overshoot, he says, take a look at, confront and duplicate and see what the person is trying to do. We know the action is wrong, but what's he trying to do? It brings understanding. And speaking of bullies, he said a bully is, not the okay bullying, he said a bully is defined as someone who was bullied and then he adopted the beingness of the bully. It brings understanding. So we don't add more bullying. Cops get frustrated. He sees a guy beating up a little 3-year-old girl, and he's seeing this too much, and he's got a 3-year-old girl. He's gonna rap you one. It isn't the way, but it's tough. It's tough. A lot of these news things about the police are bad. They didn't show the little piece before, you know. Oh, the wrong parts are wrong. I like Hubbard saying this, whether it's about stockbrokers, car repair, or police. Any group, right? It's virtually impossible. This sounds ideal, but it is a way to get back to ideal. It's virtually impossible for the other members of the group to not know the wrongdoing of a few. And it's the responsibility of the other members of the group to put the ethics in. Yeah, okay, yeah. I love it when a guy said on TV a year ago, no such thing as a bad cop. Genius. I cut it off. Genius. There's a cop there running toward a car on fire with someone locked inside to save his life without regard to his own. A whole use, you know. They jump in. In Florida, you have canals, and they all have gators in them. Even though there's land between them, they get out of one and crawl in another. If there's fish in a pond or a canal, there's gators, right? The car is dumped over upside down. You can't see, it's mucky water. They'll jump in. I was a lifeguard in the Marines with a helicopter with the thing coming down with a bucket. Yeah, I've seen this a little game, okay? Yeah. Let me tell you something. They jump in water you can't see, and they got to take their flashlight and bash that window open. Go in, unhook the seatbelt, drag the guy out with gators in there. You know, I think the gators will run. They don't like people. Crocodiles are the aggressive ones. Gators like to stay away, but you step on one or during mating, you see, ouch, lost a foot there to save yours. Yeah, that's what cops are. Then someone over here, bad cop, no, a guy messing up, that's not a cop. A cop saving lives, that's a cop. Yeah, yours, including those who complain about cops. Give them a break, for God's sake. There are wrongs. Yeah, the guy over here messing up. That's not being a cop. That's the guy messing up. Cubans didn't kill Cubans. I was there, by the way. No, Castro did. He's Cuban and a Catholic, right? No, he's not Cuban and a Catholic. He's a guy that kills people. He spoke up against communism, right? Americans didn't rob banks. Jesse James robbed banks. Is he an American? No, he's the guy that robs banks. We tell you, Jews didn't kill Jews. Hitler did, right? He's a Jew. But no, he's not a Jew. He's a guy that killed people. And Catholic, same number, 6 million of each. I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about it. I see those pictures. How can anybody put it? It's sort of modern history. Many things wrong before that. People in cages starved, slowly starved, then marched to trenches, lined up, shoot them, tip them over in the trench and cover it. What? That's not a Jew. That's a guy that kills people. Hitler. Yeah. I was the only Jew in my bunch, by the way, guys, when I grew up. Yeah. Only non-Jew, I meant to say, yeah. And then part of our family became Jewish. Yeah. What the hell's it got to do with anything? I don't know what Biden is. Instead, he's Catholic, and his wife, is she Jew? I think Jill Biden is proof that God isn't around. Jill Biden, Mae Musk, Elon's mom, Tulsi Gabbard, Bette Midler, the singer. I can go on, but it's your time. So we'll talk about the purpose. Free Scientology online courses. See it right there? Right there. See? Free Scientology online courses. Yeah. Here, see, welcome. Check them out on TV. Check them out. Scientology TV. Check. They just came out. They just popped up on my phone. Unbelievable. God, they go into cultures and clean them up. They have this volunteer minister group. They had 100 and some thousand people. Like they'll add to the Red Cross that's already there in a disaster, a flood. People are shivering. They need a blanket, a cup of coffee. That's not just Scientology. They're just people that are Scientologists, like Catholics, like Red Cross. They go in and they do it. They have a whole army of them. Business people on the ready, and they take turns to grab it on plane and they're gone to help out, to give out food. They even get donations, bring their own. Travolta, he's a Scientologist. He loaded his damn plane up and flew it into Puerto Rico, someplace with food supplies. No one even knew. He didn't care less. It's a pilot, yeah. Well, a lot of people in aren't Travolta do that too. They do these Scientologists. 170,000 volunteer ministers. The Jews in Israel, when this COVID hit, I saw this. story. This woman speaking, what are we going to do? They have no food. They're stranded. They have no food. These older people, no one's coming to them. Pray to God, we need a miracle. All of a sudden, these people show up with these yellow shirts. And the lady says, God, I guess God answered. And the people in the yellow shirts that says, Scientology, well, what do you need? I said, food. How much? Good. Don't matter how much. Here it is. God. Check it out. Check that story. Yeah. They couldn't care less if you're a Catholic. How's that got to do with anything? You know, Muslims, Trump made a mistake, said they're evil, banned them from coming in. But he didn't say until we know what the hell's going on. He meant, well, let me tell you something. When you have too much wine at a dinner party, Johnny Carson told it, watered down, like, crack your head open in he had a DUI, have a car wreck and crack your head open. You're in the emergency room. Yeah. What percent are Catholics, Protestants? 10% are Muslim doctors. They don't care if you like Muslims or not. They're not Muslims. They're surgeons putting your head back together. I'll take that. I'm big on doctors. Yeah. DeSantis. We make these declares, proclaims, exclaims. Forget we. You said you'd heard of it or you've done it. I got it from you guys before I ever knew about it. You thought of something and the phone rings. There they are. But you guys talk, but you didn't use bodies. Well, get a hold of this hand. Prayers. Prayers are doing that. You're talking to somebody. You, a being, are talking to a being about toward a being. You're asking for help, asking someone. You're saying a prayer for someone that they'll do well. You're saying it to Job. You know. You know? You're talking to the person. And you can cause things. You, a non-physical thing, you, a not thing, a spirit, can cause things by deciding. Yeah. You used to. You haven't for a long time really done that much. In India, we talked about how you go over as a tourist and the common people, not magicians, commoners, nobody's, dirty clothes and crap and stuff on the sidewalk and playing marbles and hopscotch, and then you can look at a piece of rope and it goes up 1 or 2 feet. Yeah. I don't know, we're under the big ropes going up, but they didn't use a physical thing, a body, to move a physical thing, a rope. Wow. That's over there. That culture didn't have the same layers of life that we have, so they can do that. We can't. We can't? You as a non-physical thing, you as a being, and another being give you a ring. You cause someone by quick thought to do something physical, dial the phone and use your bodies to talk. Yeah. So DeSantis, I don't know how to tell this to people. I'm just a customer. Buy a book, take a class. You know, I'm just a customer of the Scientology thing. Okay. Let me tell you something. DeSantis, he means well. He's been led to believe, poor thing, he's a victim, that those people are being trafficked in. Really? That at 1/14th. Check it out. I heard it was 1/14. My, or 0.14? Yeah. It's got a 1 and a 4. The crime rate that the white people have. The other workers, typical U.S. people, not that they have a high crime rate. They don't. No, not these people. These have 1/14. They're grateful to work for 3 cents a year picking lettuce. Yeah. Jobs other people won't do. Boy, thanks. Those beautiful eyes. And Tucker calls them dirty brown people. Really? But he did the miracle the other day. Tucker. See, he does the right thing. If they do something wrong, steer him. I can't claim I put this thought in him. No. No. Did you? You suddenly said, what? Russia's not the aggressor into Ukraine. The U.S. and NATO are. It's a bunch of BS, yeah. Really. In Turkey, Erdogan, E-R-D-O-G-A-N, Erdogan, the president of Turkey, right? It's his last name. He's holding a meeting to bring peace with Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, yeah. Neat, you know. He didn't go and tell how bad we were, stupid, you know. But Biden's people have turned the corner. They retracted. Jen Psaki, this incredibly beautiful girl with red hair. God, the beautiful speak, the heart and soul of this woman. That's Miss America with the most beautiful heart and soul. She's really neat. She made a big announcement. We told you they're going to turn around. Biden and his guy, Blinken, his Secretary of State, bright guy out of Yale, but kind of running on the wrong way a little and being antagonistic and getting people to hate Russia. It's not Russia. They did some wrong things. They invaded Crimea and took that. That's not okay. You're right there, but they're not doing it with Ukraine. We are goading them into a war, small thing, World War III. Yep. Oh, yeah. It'd be the worst thing since World War II, they said. Yeah. So Jen Psaki, wow. She says, announcement. We retract the word imminent. I-M-M-I-N-E-N-T. It's imminent. We said that Putin's gonna go to war, gonna attack Ukraine. We retract that. That was an error because that implies that we know he's already made a decision. Untrue. Jen Psaki, this is what God is, people. Because like I said, I call me silly, I am. But it's really neat when you back the car out of the driveway. You have a road there, you know, a house with a land, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Geez, guys, you know. Yeah. Earth first, and then work this other stuff out after. Yeah. Earth. I like that. Yeah. Because Einstein said, this guy's got a heart going. He said, people, I do not know what weapons World War III will be fought with. I do know that World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Yep. And the new nuke, you know, isn't just the nuke. It's cyber, right? And AI, artificial intelligence. And this wonderfully heart and soul guy, Elon Musk, is suggesting a council to regulate AI. There are good uses for artificial intelligence. Maybe they can drive cars better than we can. You know, yeah, into that. There's some little thing about him putting wires in people's brains to make them do better. I don't know about that. But he said, the horse is out of the barn, the toothpaste is out of the tube on AI. In 5 years, if we don't manage it, they can have robots, the few that are nasty people, robots going down the street and killing people. Because they're already ahead of us. They have robots that have a higher intelligence than we have. Years ago, IBM, the founder's name is Watson, said that they had a computer named Watson. And we, you know, people put things in it, so we downloaded to it and made it more intelligent than the #1 chess player in the world. It outthought the chess player. Yeah. That's okay. You know, AI is a good thing. So Musk, not trying to be the leader or be the committee, he suggested we get a council on regulation of cyber and AI. Yeah. Yeah. See? You know what the answer is? Bah. That, you know, while we're going to clean up individuals, a nation, to solve a nation, well, you have to have certain people take charge of areas. But to solve a nation, each individual unpeels life's layers. They don't have that anymore. You can't tell me DeSantis was evil, nuts, insane, or crazy before going to law school. No. But he added some stuff. He's responsible. You are not the things you do. Do something good, get credit, not good. Fix it best you can. But are you what you do? No. Do something good? No, you're not the thing. You're a not thing. How can you be things? You're a thing that decided to be. You can look it up and walk yourself through the basics. Check into the Scientology homework Hubbard did and gifted to a nonprofit for ethical distribution. A genius technology. He credits all the philosophers going way back, Voltaire and Socrates and Bacon and all these guys. They tried to find one thing they were looking for, you know? They're trying to find the soul of mankind. I just saw it on TV, Scientology Network TV. It just came up on, I just saw it. You're not you. If you think you're the negative thoughts, the bad moods, no, that's not you. It showed we're tired of this. It showed a picture of our brains. Psychiatry says we're a meat body, with a, we're a lab animal and we're a brain part of a meat body. No. And they showed a picture of a brain. We had enough of this, and then they show a pill bottle, enough of this, Because psychiatry, psyche means spirit, right? Ology, study of spirits. I'm into that. But see, then why do they give a physical thing a pill to a physical thing a body to solve a spirit? And by the way, speaking of all the mass shooters so far, were on or dying trying to get off of psych drugs. Those are a chemical, straight jacket, a chemical lobotomy. See the shooter here? No, the picture, that's not the shooter. It's called the guy in the background, the drug dealer in white coats. And I told you this one talk. Psychiatrists, decent souls who give a hoot about you, have come forth and they're talking on this Scientology channel. They don't have the method Hubbard has, but they said, wait a minute. These psychiatrists make up these disorders, they make up these illnesses in their own minds. 374 disorders. The Diagnostic Statistical Manual, DSM, 374 disorders. Jet lag, you phony, quit bragging that you fly a lot by telling us out having a drink that you've got jet lag. That's so 90s. No. There's no such thing anymore. It's called jet lag disorder. Math difficulties in school, you're full of crap. Who are you? No, it's called mathematical disorder. Spirits disorder. You see, yeah. Okay. Climbing disorder. Being a kid, being a child is not a disorder. Right? And people trust doctor, and it's free. The drugs you and I pay for, our taxpayers pay for. So the guys left on the street when the insurance money runs out. He's on the street, both an addict and believing bipolar of the car seat or something, whatever. Yeah, we believe it, right? Psychiatry tells the person what's wrong. Scientology lets the person tell. I have no idea how your day went. I don't know. By the way, Hubbard is the only writer I've read, and I have been to Harvard and back a few times, and you don't have to go there to find the best authors. But he's the only writer I've read who says, you have the answers. Not me, not him, not some a-hole doctor. I don't know how your day went. You don't need someone telling you. So back to you. Dishonest. I'm giving you a fancy, showy, braggadocious declare. No, you do it. Tell me. Can you think of someone? And they'll call? Well, then you're declaring in advance. Other times you've done it without thinking about it, without thinking it wouldn't happen, or done it without realizing you're doing it. But you can return back to knowingly do that. Well, who cares about someone calling? But you can tell another being. You can pray for them. That's a version of this. And they'll feel it, yeah. Remember the guys at the funeral telling, it's a celebration of life? This is one of our type, normal, sane people, right? Who's just going to slip the truth out just for a second to you people because he knows you know the same truth. The guy died of a ripe old age, and we're going to tell stories about all the fun times. This one guy gets up and says, yeah, we better be good because he's looking down. Excuse me? Who? Where? What? Looking who? I thought he was over on Pine Box. No, you see? And stories about a ghost will rattle things at a funeral because it's upset about the estate, right? Is that what you call a person a ghost? But we're not used to that. Take it easy. You don't want to give up bodies? No! Like in India, they can get outside their body, look at it a few feet away. What? I'm not that. I'm not a thing. I can't die. That's right. When people die, they don't. They used to get a new body. God, we got bodies. That's how we operate. So on the Scientology television, they had a thing about how to recover the full you, the human soul. By human, you're stuck in a body. Yeah, find out. You're not a body, but you have one right there. It goes on 100 and knock on wood, you see? Yeah, don't go giving up bodies. Oh, no. So, DeSantis, to finish that. See, the Florida governor, I wasn't happy with what I wrote about him. Going to cut off kids when they come over because they were trafficked. He's making some false label. And they can't be in these little shelters until they're matched with a vetted, a cleared sponsor. God, they've had phone numbers of a relative we call. You cut that off. Yanked them from their mommies. Killed their souls. We did that. Yanked them for a year and a half or two. Many of them lost thousands. What? They're a tiny percent of our population. What do they cost? Each invasion, Tulsi Gabbard said it costs about $1 trillion. I think we got about $30 we can give to one of these families for food. She said that. Yeah. Biden pulled you out. We told you he would. In a prior talk. Biden has more guts, sanity, and sensibility than I've seen in a long time. He's not a socialist. He's a Democrat. Abe Lincoln was a Democrat, not a socialist Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard ran on the Republican ticket, did the debates, told the truth. There's some things that weren't right. And then kind of pulled away and went independent, not Democrat, because she's not into the socialistic things versus just Democrat, you know. So she's independent or still a Democrat, whatever. I don't know what she is. Yeah. She did 2 tours in Iraq. She's an officer in the military, Air Force, in the medical units. 38-year-old congresswoman telling us she served 2 terms in Iraq. What's this stuff? In the medical unit, all these people killed. And she told you, she sees this sign every day, this sign up there saying, is this the day? The sign would say, is this the day? So she asked some local human, you know, like a human person, we haven't killed yet, a nice young lady, ma'am, could I ask you a question? I see this sign every time I walk by. It says, is this the day? What does that mean? And the local Iraqi woman said, is this our last day? Who are we to do that? We are people from all those countries. That's where we came from. Just to get organized, yeah. So Tulsi thought, God, for the trillion just spent for Afghanistan and Iraq and all that, right? That's at each invasion. They're not wars, they're invasion. Regime change. How about $30 I'll bring it home with me of the money they paid her? How about $30 home to give some food to people? We don't have any food. Yeah. Because of us. Cut the taxes. DeSantis will have every person voting for him because he will get rid of this. He won't need to do these 144 bills presented to Congress and several have passed, blocking people from voting in blue areas, blue-collar Democrat areas that are more Democrat than us. Yeah, it's horrible. Trump would win. All you have to do is, if DeSantis wants every Democrat to vote for the Republican, everyone, just get rid of the income tax and put the sales tax in, called the fair tax, F-A-I-R. Oh, don't worry, Einstein warned you. He said, a negative person will always find a problem for every solution. I like Al Einstein. Of course, he's Jewish. No, I mean, he's just a helpful guy. More than, even just 2 and 2 is 4. He said some great things, to say the least. Yeah. So there. That's what'll happen. We're here to declare on the 4th of February, we'll put it in the little title, DeSantis will pivot now. The secret sauce, Hubbard says, when he sees something up and running and crazy, decent people but doing something that isn't good, don't combat them, don't fight them, they'll become turbulent. Like when a plane is flying, it hits turbulence bumps, you know, you get that. And number 2, don't try and stop them, you'll lose because they have to have a game. Number 3, give them more problems with better ones along a better line. And then simply he tells you, specifically, he says, hey, the old story, we build a better mousetrap, the entire world to be to pass your door. We've all heard that, right? He says, had they just put one word there, he says, problem. Give them a problem, a bigger and better problem. And your problem can be a sane, S-A-N-E problem, hence, therefore, pulling their attention off of the insane thing. They aren't insane, but they're doing this was. The being, there's nothing wrong with you. Or anybody, a being. How can a not thing be things? Wrongs are things. You're not things. Go get this. It's so simple, I told you. It's actually stupid simple. What you're going to find out beyond the floor, in pain, laughing, when you discover it, yeah. There's really not much to tell. Hardly anything to tell you guys. Hardly anything to tell you. Nothing. I mean, it's so little to tell, but a whole lot of words, examples. You get up and give some. You go find this stuff out. You go give some talks, okay? Yeah. Next time I'll tell you what I did wrong. Oh! Yeah, 2 types of wrong. Commission, where you commit a wrong, okay, fix it. Or omission, omit. By your inaction, by your not acting, people become harmed. You might say, well, there wasn't intention to harm. Oh, but perhaps there was lack of intention to follow through and handle one's job, post-duty responsibility role. Ah, yeah. The self knows. Right. So I was hacked. Got thrown under the bus. Not true. Oh, it happened. But that isn't the truth. The truth is, I allowed a distraction from one's own purpose. Not what someone else says one's purpose is. The self knows. You can change it to other purposes, but when you leave, write up your post, you see. So that is why I allowed that to happen. Just so you know. You know what I did? I'll tell you what I did. This stuff that I'm telling you about, the homework of this Hubbard, right? I didn't get it to you sooner when I could have, and on a much broader scale. We're picking up the pace. Don't worry. No, you'll all have it. I just said that you will all have this stuff. Yeah, you will. 80%, most of you are in good enough shape and not under the thumb of someone, so you can do it. No matter what your income level, low, middle, or high, it doesn't have anything to do with it. No. You'll all have it. All 80% of it. The others will be cleaned up, and they will. Yeah. The one who told me about it, she had a can't-have being run on her, so she wasn't able to have it, so she was trying to run a can't-have on me to make sure I wouldn't know about the Scientology. And the more she knocked it, I thought, what the? Holy cow, what is that? It was really neat. Sorry about the mask again. It's not for COVID. We had our face smashed a little, an equestrian thing. But it was the elective, not karma, right? Waiting for the dental, you know. Well, elective, what a cover story that is. No. It's okay to do things on your own time. Go pick up a game of basketball or go to movies, but not on your post time, your job time, your responsibility. No, the one that you know. I'm talking about me. So anyway, that I didn't get this to you sooner. It isn't whether I paid a price. Luckily, not a worse one. So I can get here and tell you. Now, I'd like that someone else would, but they haven't yet. Yeah, they haven't yet. Hubbard talks about in the public relations field, there's an important fact. Good works well done, but not properly PR'd, are not well done. Good works do not speak for themselves. Word of mouth is not. It's someone telling someone else. Yeah. Good works well done, but not properly PR'd, are not well done. Like the tree fell in the forest, but no one was there. So was there a sound? It's the whole thing. No, just to the little rabbits and things around there and squirrels. No one else heard the thing. If tree falling is important, but the point is, so I'm here to tell you the nicest way. I had to come up with a saying to my friends when I told them about this botching up and leaving a period of absence where I allowed people to get a little bit lower. Hubbard reminds us it's not big-headed. You're not being big-headed. It's not bragging to claim you can do things. That look at the things you do. So you don't need someone telling you whether you can do them or not. You're doing them, and thus other things that you know you can do. So I developed this saying for my friends when I told them how I goofed up. The saying is, shoot me, but don't kill me. You're not going to have to sit and do the job. So the good news is the Scientology organization, if you check out Scientology TV, television network, whatever, check it out. Look at the beautiful things. It isn't just a bunch of fluff and PR. Oh, my God. All over the world doing all these things. But we need to get a hold of a few leaders, since they're there. They're the ones who took the job. You know, good, bad, right or wrong, some more, some less, some this or that. Go and handle those people. You can. You thought of someone and the phone rang, right? You can think of, say prayers for, same kind of thing, really. DeSantis, Trump. He had a good program, but he had people that he didn't handle, so they messed up. And they got Biden elected. You don't say Biden cheated. No. Their mess-ups got Biden elected. You're locked down. No, that happened 25 months ago with Trump's thing. Maybe an incorrect management of whatever the flu or the COVID was, you see? Yeah. I'm speaking ideally, but Biden's coming around. No, the mandates they're easing off and back to you having a choice. Okay, so anyway, we came here to tell you today, the second talk, on the 4th of February, today, that DeSantis will be pivoting away from this blocking children from the help of these little camps until they hook up with their sponsor. Yeah, and the phone numbers. Quit stealing their phone numbers. How torturous. That'll be changing. He will be cutting taxes out. GOP, Biden, and Trump. All three will. I'm telling you now. Okay, and they will all get all the votes. Who got the most? I mean, every